Hi everyone, it's Tawney. In today's video, we are doing a full face of E.L.F products. I recently picked up a good bit of things from E.L.F's website, and they surprisingly came in the mail yesterday. They were delivered to my parents, which is where I get all my stuff delivered to, and my mom was like, hey, there's a package for you, and it was in the prettiest light blue box. Oh man, I'm usually one to accept the fact that packaging is ugly when it comes to shipping boxes and things like that. Like I bought a couple things from Amazon and they came in like a T-Mobile box, or like trying to get you to get some sort of, what was it, cell service or something like that. And I get service through my parents' plan because we have the family plan. So like it was just kind of redundant that way, but you know, it's promotion. It's how they get advertising out. But I was kind of surprised that like the box was so pretty. And mom like literally shook it like this as hard as she could. And she's like, wow, they didn't protect that much at all. And I'm like, well, it could have been fine until you started shaking it. And I was like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? So I opened this box up, and not to rag on E.L.F in any way. Like it, you know, sometimes things come very well packaged and other times they come like, you're just lucky you get the crap in the box. I had ordered these, the duo blush and highlight type things, and the one that I was most excited for came completely shattered, and I have yet to fix it because I just haven't been in the mood to do that. So, and that was well packaged. Now this stuff came, none of it was bubble wrapped except for the eyeshadow palettes that I ordered. The rest of it was just kind of laying willy-nilly, and none of it was stuff that could have broken, but it still could have like been damaged in some way, or like the tubes could have popped or something like that. So I was a little bit like annoyed by that, but at the same time, like, it is what it is, and I'm just grateful that the stuff came. I'm going to go in with the E.L.F Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer. Now, I saw this and I was very interested in the cooling effect. I saw that they had a different line. There was a cleansing balm, then there was maybe a cleanser or a moisturizer, and then there was the cooling primer. And I figured this was the one I was most interested in. I do have the E.L.F moisturizer, the Holy Hydration, but I find that it is extremely thick. So I'm assuming it would be good for dry skin. I think it works fine on my skin, but I typically only use it when I get out of the shower and my skin is very dry and like needs that little bit of moisture. But like the extra bump of moisture, I should say, it's not something I find myself reaching for often. It's one that I kind of realized I'm not the biggest fan of, but anyway, so the directions on the back say apply evenly to face prior to makeup application. Once applied, wait 30 seconds before applying makeup. Beauty tip, use clean fingers to pat product into the skin. The warmth of your fingers will help the product melt into the skin for an even application. Well, my hands are clean. I just got done doing some dishes, so they are definitely clean. The primer comes out looking like this, which is really cool. It looks really nice. It definitely provides that whole like mint look to it, which I'm totally here for. Like, I love that. It kind of, this is a primer, right? Yeah, it's a primer. It kind of is going on like a face mask, like the kind that looks like this, and you put it on and it dries down and then you peel it off, but you need like a crap ton in order to get it to like be at a peelable point, because most of the time when I put them on, I don't put on enough and then I end up having to just like scrape it and wipe it off, which is probably not the best. It is very sticky, and I kind of feel like it's a little gross on my fingers, I'm not gonna lie. It is very tacky to the touch. I can feel it like sticking whenever my fingers try to pull off, but I don't really notice anything of a cooling effect. It smells a bit minty, which is kind of a good thing. I mean, if you're not into scents and you're sensitive to smells on your face, that might be something you might want to like keep in mind. But for me, I think it's kind of nice, but I will admit that like the stickiness is kind of disgusting. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. We're gonna wipe off my hands because that's gross. So yeah, so far so good. I'm not really feeling much cooling. Doesn't look too bad. I'm not really feeling any cooling, so we're just gonna go from there. I think it might have been like 30 seconds. I don't know. So the next product we're going to use is the E.L.F. Camo CC Cream. This says it is color correcting, full coverage, natural finish with collagen, peptides, and niacinamide. And it has a broad spectrum SPF of 30, which is fairly good. I got the shade Fair 150C. I did the tester to see like what my shade would be, and it was, I think, 1 or 2 lower than this, but I like the way that this, like, what the swatch looked like on the images better than the other one. So I was like, well, I'll just go with this and work with it. And I'm always afraid of getting a foundation that's too light because I find that it ends up making me look too ghostly and I don't have a good time. Like, I'm not good at getting everything more tan and like adjusting to that. I can adjust to something that's too dark. Not like overly dark, but like maybe like a tinge darker than like what I normally would expect it to be. So I figured I'd go a little bit deeper and work with it that way. I did 2 pumps on the back of my hand. It does not look like it's moving at all, which is a good thing. I've never used a CC cream before, at least that I know of. So this is going to be like a brand new first time thing. And we're going to go in with the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. And we're just going to start putting that all over the face and dabbing it in. So far, it looks like it provides a good bit of coverage, but I did just apply a crap ton to like one giant area. But I will say that it looks like it's spreading very well, which that's a good thing. I'm always afraid that it's not going to like spread out and it's just going to kind of like sit in one spot, and then you're going to have to apply so much to get it to like move on to the rest of your face or to even like cover the rest of your face. But this is pretty much like half of my face, give or take a little bit, and it looks like it's applying pretty well. Here is the difference. You can see all of this on my cheek here versus over here. I think it's covering a good bit. On camera, it looks really nice. In my mirror, I can tell there's some areas that I want like a little bit more coverage on, but that's just me. Like, I want nothing to be visible. Like, I don't like my imperfections popping out, and for anyone to see like zits or anything like that, like that's something I'm very like, I don't want that to be seen. So I'm one that I want full coverage. So when this has full coverage, we'll see. I'm one of those that like, I'm always skeptical until like we test it out. So it's applying pretty nicely in the center of my face here and down my neck. It is blurring out some of the acne that I've had under my chin. I'm thinking that acne is because of my face mask. I try to clean it every once in a while, but I've not been very good about that. So that's something that I definitely need to work on and get better at, especially because we're in the middle of a pandemic, and that's kind of something I need to like start doing. But I wear makeup sometimes, not all the time, which I want to be one of those people that wears makeup all the time, but like I like my sleep. So it sometimes has old makeup on the mask, and then I think that is what's causing the breakouts, is like the old makeup is just like setting in. It's like meshing in with my skin, and my skin's like, nope, not liking that. So yeah, wash your face mask. That's a PSA for me. So we did the forehead. It's looking a little bit dry in through here, but like everything looks dry in through there. I think that's just my skin. So I'm not going to like totally, call it out there. Now I'm doing the nose. My nose always tends to look super dry right away, but then it gets super oily throughout the day. So it's kind of one of those areas that I have to like just keep an eye on and like see how it does. But yeah, so far it's looking really good. It's looking a little bit dry on this part of my nose, but that area is typically very dry. It's not quite as hydrating as I was expecting, but I'm not like hating on it. But I think the application and how it applied on my face looks really nice. I think, this was a good match. It definitely looks like it blends very well down my neck. I feel like it's covering a good bit and like providing that like full coverage protection that I was looking for. So that's a good thing. That was definitely something I was like looking for in this CC cream. I almost called it a concealer, but it's a CC cream. There's too many C words. So now we're going in with the E.L.F. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I have the shade Fair Beige. This is my favorite E.L.F. concealer, and I hate the original camo concealer, I'm not gonna lie. I think that it just does not perform well. I can't even find a shade that works for me, and like, look how light my skin is. Like, there's some that will work, like I can make them work, but they don't work as I want them to, which is kind of disappointing because like that's the whole point. You want it to work for you. And they just like aren't the right undertones like for me. So it just kind of like either leaves me too white or just like not what I want it to be. So I found that this shade in the hydrating one works best, and it gives me that hydration under the eyes that I really need throughout the day. So I would definitely recommend this one over the original. I would like not even bother trying the original, but it's only $5 or $6, so it's not like you're going to be out that much money if you do go for it. So I'm hoping my makeup has a good day today and it'll look nice. I plan on doing, it is currently 1:26 p.m. So I plan on doing about a 9 to 10 hour wear test depending. I may be crying. I don't know yet. I've been watching 911 a lot recently, and I just started season 3 today, so who knows if I will be crying or not. I've been crying all day watching the final couple episodes of season 2, so that's kind of like, it could happen. And I cry very easily. And then today is football Sunday for the championship games to see who goes to the Super Bowl. And the team that I have bandwagoned onto, I'm hoping makes it. And because my team didn't make it to playoffs. So I kind of just like picked a team and I'm like, well, we're going with it because I don't like the other 3 teams. So we're doing it. So I'm hoping they win. I won't cry if they lose because it's like not that big a deal. I'll be more mad than anything just because like I'm like that. But I am hoping they will win. So there might be some happy tears, whatnot. And I'm also seeing my boyfriend. So, and not that he'd make me cry, but like he's just so sweet. So it could happen, you know? Okay, I'm really liking the way my face looks so far. And I'm going to go in with the Rimmel Stay Matte powder because I don't have an e.l.f. powder to use. I used to have the Halo loose powder, the Halo setting powder. Didn't really care for that, but it wasn't bad. And then I also used to have another powder of theirs that was like the HD definition powder. And I don't really feel like it did anything, so I just decluttered both of those. So I'm going in with this powder just under the eyes and the T-zone. And then I will just let the rest of my oils come through how they will, because I don't want to mess too much with the CC cream and how it will work today. Okay. Glad I didn't do that over the face because I just realized I have a cream product. We are testing out one of the e.l.f. putty blushes. I got the shade Fiji, I believe it is. It's one of the red shades. I really like the shade Tahiti as well. So, yes, I got Fiji. Yep, okay. So, I don't really know how best to apply this, so I'm going to go with my finger first. It feels slightly greasy and oily, but I'm hoping that it like chills because I don't need help with that. But then if that doesn't work, I might put it on the back of my hand and then use my sponge to like dab, dab, dab. So we're just going to put that here. I typically like my blushes more on the apples of my cheeks than on the high parts of my face, but I have been trying to do it on the high parts of my face just to see like if I like it there, you know? Okay, let's get a sponge that's good for... Okay, so we're going to go with this sponge. I think it's an EcoTools sponge. We're just kind of shopping the drugstore of my stash. So let's blend this out so I don't look so scary. I've heard good things about this, but I haven't really heard much. I just know like it's been good. So that's not bad. It's definitely blending in well, but I feel like I might want to go in either directly to the product or directly on the back of my hand and then go from there just so I don't accidentally get like a splotch or something on my face, because I definitely don't want to have like where it like stains one area and then doesn't go throughout the rest. So right now I'm going directly into the pot and then I'm going to go hit the outer parts of my face. Yeah, okay. I really do like the way this looks, especially on camera. Like, it even looks good on the mirror, too. But, like, they're 2 different things. But I really like the way this is applying. I really like this color, too. Like, I usually go for, like, peachy tones, very orangey looking. I don't go purple. which I feel like would look kind of decent, but maybe not so much on my skin tone. But I wanted to try something different, and I wanted to have something different in my collection as well, so tried this out. So I'm not mad at it. So this looks pretty nice. I really like the way it has applied and the way it's providing that warmth to my face. So really liking that. And then we're going to go in with the E.L.F. Forever Sun-Kissed Primer Infused Bronzer. This is one of my favorite bronzers to use at the moment. And I figured, you know, we're doing full face of new E.L.F., so let's do some E.L.F. And even though this isn't like super new, it has been out a little while, but it's fairly new. So we're going to try not to disturb the blush by putting any of this bronzer on. But I don't think that's really happening. But this is definitely a bronzer that, like, you can see it doing something. I find that some bronzers, you have to apply so much that you end up using, like, half the bronzer just to get anything to show up on your face. And I'm not here for that. Like, don't waste my time, you know? I got things to do, places to be. Not really, but, you know. But I feel like this does bring that warmth. And I think this is a little bit more yellow toned, which is different, but I like it. I find that like the red tones don't always look the best on me if they're in the form of a bronzer, you know. But this is looking good so far. I'm really liking the way that my makeup looks right now, even without my brows and my eyes done, or my lips. And then we're going to go down the nose. I don't contour my nose because I just like don't. So I just kind of run the bronzer over it. And yeah. And now we're going to go in with the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. And we're just in the basic shade Be My Highlight. And I just figured I'd stick drugstore and do that because I don't have an E.L.F. highlighter. Although their highlighters aren't bad, I've just decluttered them. So we're just going to put this all over the high points of my face and down my T-zone. Just down the nose like that. This is a nice subtle highlight and it's like really cheap. So you don't have to feel guilty buying it to test it out if you don't know how it works for you. But this is definitely one that like, if you want that highlight, you get it. But if you don't want to be like overly, you don't want to be a disco ball, you don't have to worry about that. Because like that's not something you run into with this one. So now we are going to go in with the Milani eyeshadow primer, which I thought I had out, but I didn't. But luckily all my makeup stash is like right beside me, so I don't have to worry about going to get stuff. So I'm going to put that over my eyelid to try and prep my eyelids for the eyeshadow that we're going to use today. And I only use the smallest amount, and then if I need more, I go back in with it. But I just like to make sure it gets all over my eye and even up into my eyebrow, so then that way all of that area is prepped for the eyeshadow that I'm going to be using. And we're going to do the other eye. Okay, we are looking good. We got those areas ready to go. And now we're going to go in with the two Mint Collection eyeshadow palettes. We have Mint Melt, which is this really nice one that has that nice deep green in it. It looks like this. Really liking those shimmers in there. And then we have, okay. So the first one was actually Mint to Be. And this one is Chocolate Mint. They're part of the Mint Melt collection. That is my bad. So I really do lean toward more of the browns. That's like typically what I go to. But I am going to try and incorporate a good bit of the green mints to try and like see what I can do with my look. So we're going in with... Let's see. We're going to go in with the brown shade from the Chocolate Mint, this one right here. And we're just going to put that all over the crease just to use that as the transition shade. Oh yeah, that is applying so nicely. I love these eyeshadow palettes from E.L.F. Like all of their quads. They're so nice and so well pigmented. And they're so affordable. I think they're $3 or $4. So you could pick up all of them for under like 20 bucks. So we're applying that. And so far so good. I didn't do my brows yet, but we'll get there. We're not going to forget. I'm going to hope we don't forget because I do have an E.L.F product to use on my brows. So yeah, I think that looks really nice. It blended out so well. So now we're gonna go in, let's see. I'm like really leaning towards all of these shades, this shade, this shade, and this shade. But the whole point is to not do browns and not stay too minty. We wanna like switch it up a little bit. Okay, let's see. So we're gonna do this. So we're gonna go with the deepest shade and use that on the outer corner. And I'm gonna pack it down a little bit and then I'm gonna blend it out. So that way it's not quite as intense, but we still want that like deepness on the outer part. So now we're gonna blend that up into the crease and out a little ways, but we don't wanna go too far past the corner of our brow. Yeah, this is applying so nicely. Like, look at that. Whew, that is so nice. I have hooded eyes, so my eye looks don't always turn out quite as nice as I want them to. And like when I have a vision for doing an eye look, it doesn't always happen the way I want it to. But you know, it is what it is, and we just got to go with it. You know, you just got to work with what you have. You can't change it. I mean, you could get plastic surgery and do all that stuff, but like, why bother, you know? We're in the middle of a pandemic. There are plenty more things that are important than like body issues that aren't even like important. Like that's like, you know, if they really do bother you and you need to go get something, you know, taken care of, sure, go ahead. But if it's something that's like so minor like this, like don't waste your money and your time and your energy. So I think that looks quite nice. That looks really nice on my eyes. Like, look, I really like that. Really like this. This could be a good like everyday eyeshadow palette, but with those like pops of mint to it. So if you want to do something colorful, you can. So then I'm taking just a teeny bit down on my lower lash line. I don't ever really do anything on my lower lash line. And I know I probably should just to like do something different with my looks, but I'm just like, I never think of anything to do in that area. So I just don't bother with it, you know? So now we're going back in on this eye just to touch it up a little bit and make sure they both look even. I think this looks really nice. I'm very much liking the way this is going. Like, oh, look at that. Like, that is so nice. Okay, let's see. I think we're going to go in now with this white shimmery shade. I'm going to just use my finger because I find that that's honestly like the easiest way for me to apply stuff. It comes off like this. It's a little chalky, but we can work with it. It does have that like mint tint to it, which I'm kind of liking. So that way it's not like super stark white. And this is what it looks like upon first application. There is glitter going everywhere, so I will have to dust the under parts of my eyes. But I'm not mad at that because that happens. Oh yeah, that is like, it's getting everywhere, look. Okay, so now we're going in the other eye because we have too much on our finger. Holy crap, this is intense. And it is coming off very minty, but I like it. Like, oh, nice. We are gonna have to blend it out and like keep it more concentrated because that's something I did not do well. But you know, it is what it is and we will work with it. Okay, gonna wipe off that finger there. And then we're gonna go back in with, well, no, we're gonna use a different brush. And I am just going to kind of like sweep this over the lid just to try and get it more like packed down, I guess you could say. Yeah, okay. Wow. And now I'm gonna go back with that first brush and dip a little bit into the deeper shade and just try and like blend in that color, blend in the two colors together. So it's not quite as like crazy. Yeah, like that. We want it to look like this. And now we're going to do that with the other eye. Yes, we like that. We like this very much. I'm really liking this palette. I like this whole collection. Like, mint is something that I like really, I just really like the way it looks and everything. And like on clothes and makeup, on like decor and things like that. Like it's just one of those colors that just looks so nice. So I think this is like really cool and like very different for e.l.f. Like I think if anyone else had done it, it would still be pretty different too. So now I'm going to go in with a small brush for my brow bone and inner corner. And I'm going to go in with this shade here. Well, no, we're going to go with this shade. We're going to stay minty. And I'm going to use that as my inner corner highlight to keep that mintiness going. Because I felt like that brown that I was going to pick was just going to be a little bit too dark and like mess with the look and not make it what I want it to be. So then we're going to put that up here. And I'm going to blend this out a little bit because it's a little intense right now. Looks good, but it's a little intense. We're doing the same to the other eye. I think this looks really nice so far. Yes. Oh, doesn't that look good? Like the mintiness is just so nice. Okay. So now we're going to do brows real quick. And I have the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil. It is the white one. It has a spoolie on one end, and then it has the tip to draw the eyeshadow onto on the other. I am sorry about the noise outside. I live next to people that have trucks, so it tends to be loud. And my neighbors had just left next door, and they park like almost right underneath my bedroom window, and they get a little loud when they shut their doors. So I was like, kind of glad you're leaving so I don't have to hear all the noise whenever I'm filming. But you can't control what other people do, so I'm just gonna ignore it and continue filming. So we are just forming that brow. Not that I need any of that help, because like I have a brow. I have plenty of brow. And then I'm gonna go in with the NYX Tinted Brow Mascara over it, just because that's like what I have and what I like to use. e.l.f. has a precision brow pencil that's really nice. So if you're interested in something a little bit thinner than this one, I would say go for that. They're definitely stepping up their game with all of their products. So you really can't go wrong with much of what e.l.f. has to offer. So definitely consider checking them out in all different areas of your face and even skincare products. They're definitely like getting in there. So I'd really like to see stuff like that, especially from a brand that's so affordable. So now we're going in with the NYX Brow Mascara and getting those little brow hairs off there. It's a problem when you have brows. They do what they want, they go where they want, and you just live with it, you know? Okay, now we're going to try the new mascara from e.l.f. And it is the e.l.f. Lash It Loud Volumizing Mascara. It looks like this. And then here is what the brush head looks like. It has those like plastic pokey looking, I don't know what you want to call it, things that are gonna like go through your lashes. So I'm not like super impressed with that, and it doesn't have that hourglass shape, but it is volumizing, and volumizing typically looks like this. So I'm not mad at it, but we'll have to see how it works. I typically like ones that curl and volumize because I find that the volumizing ones don't work, like they don't do as much as I want them to. I'm currently testing one out from L'Oreal or Maybelline, one of the two, and it's good, but it's not like, you know, crazy good. So this one is applying pretty nicely. This is one of the nicer e.l.f. mascaras that I've tried, I will have to say. The one that they have with the J Kissa collection, it's a brownish red tone mascara. It works pretty well, so I would recommend that if you're looking for something that's a colored mascara. But this one is just the black tone. I think they only had one shade in this, which is fine by me. But if you're looking for something like this in a brown, you'd have to look somewhere else. So, oh no, we just got some under the brow. I hate when that happens. And on the lid. Okay, so we're just going to ignore it and let it dry and deal with it later. And I think this is applying pretty nicely. I think my lashes look really nice. I know you can't really see because of the makeup that I did, but I think it looks pretty nice. And I don't do falsies, so I want my lashes to be very volumizing and very like pow in your face. because I just cannot make lashes work. It's just not something that I just don't have that gift, you know? It's a little pokey and like it hurts putting it on the lower lash line just because I went in a little bit too far. So keep that in mind, that it just kind of like, it's slightly scratchy. And I think you could go in multiple times. I went in twice and I think that it doesn't look too bad. I think my lashes look pretty decent, so we'll have to see how it wears throughout the day and just make sure that it, oh no, okay. We're gonna cut that out. So now we're going to go back with our powder brush and just kind of brush all of that loose eyeshadow and glitter and even mascara flakes off of our under eyes, just so it is a little bit more nice, polished. And now, I do have, my bad, forgot to use it. I have the Mint Melt No Budge eyeshadow in the shade Ice Cream. And I'll show you what it looks like. I have used it once and I did like the way it looked. This is the lighter brown shade. I think it looks really nice and it would be a really good all over shade if you don't want to do your eyes that day and you just kind of want to throw something on. I think that would work. But I just didn't think it went well with the look we did, unless I wanted to go more brown, and I really was trying not to today. So I think that one could work pretty well. And then we are going to go in, let's see. I'm very unprepared today. We're going to go in with the L'Oreal Infallible Lace Chocolates lipstick. How do I say lace chocolates? And I'm like, wow, that's so professional. We have the shade 848 Dose of Cocoa, and I'm just going to use this. E.L.F has plenty of good liquid lipsticks, but I typically just don't go for those. I don't like the way they taste or like smell or whatever. So I'm going to use this one. Okay. So I can show you the new lip gloss that I picked up from this collection. And it is the Lip Plumping Gloss in Mint Sprinkle. This is what it looks like. The packaging is super cute and it's very sparkly. I've used it once before already and I really like the way it came out. So we are going to go ahead and use it with this look and see how it works. Doesn't that look nice? Don't you just love that sparkle on there? I find that the sparkle does go away after a while, but that's not a bad thing. It's not sticky. It's not goopy. It's not like holding my lips together. So I really like that about it. And now I'm going to go in with the Makeup Revolution Hydrate and Fix Radiance Makeup Setting Spray. Fixing spray. I know that E.L.F has a new setting spray, but I didn't know how it worked, so I didn't pick it up, but I have heard good things since. So I'm definitely interested in trying it out, and I don't know if it's with this collection or not, but it might be something to try. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned for that, look out for that, check it out. Okay, and this is the final look. I am very pleased with how all of this makeup worked so far. We still have to wear it and see how it looks throughout the day, but I think my eyes look nice. I think the face products turned out really well. I really like the way my skin looks so far. I mean, I've just been wearing this for like half an hour, but it already looks really nice. So I'm very excited to see how it will turn out through the rest of the day. And thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and ring the notification bell down below so you get notified when I upload. If you're new here, I film beauty videos, lifestyle, home, sometimes vlogs. I upload every 3 to 4 days, so you have something to watch twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week, depending on when I upload. And I've been starting to do anti-hauls, so stay tuned for those. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!